there is a Jesus, there is a God, and he decreed on high that Velma shall not be renewed for a third season. Did you know anything about this, Bo?
Yeah,
I'm guessing you
but
didn't.
just say I immediately thought of the Coming to America. There's a
So
God
this is
somewhere. There's a God somewhere. Yeah, no, I watched a bit of the original cartoon somehow. I don't know how I saw it because I'm not signed up to like any sort of thing, but it got completely slated originally, right? And somehow I saw almost all of one episode, and it was god awful, was it? I mean, it's one of those things designed to annoy sort of a normal, reasonable person. It seemed to me.
yeah, effectively. I mean, that is It's one of those shows that has everything you can possibly think of that's going to annoy you is probably going to be in the show. So it was really poorly received, as you can see. 38% audiences. Critics score 7% audiences. Now, not a lot of people realise that it did get renewed for a second season, amazingly. And what I like to do about this, because lots of people go, well, it did improve. So you go to season 2, and when it eventually loads, you're like, oh, wow, 13%.
Oh, it's acolyte numbers.
Yeah, but, well, it's not, though, is it? So first season was reviewed by 10,000 plus people, 7%. Only 250 plus people bothered to review the second season. So it's always fascinating to look at the drop-off. The drop-off is the interesting thing. Looking at how many people can't be bothered to review it compared to the first one. And again, only 3 critics reviews. So it doesn't even register properly. It doesn't even have a score.
I'm guessing they were all shills. Shield critics?
No, not really. Like pretty negative there. Like 1 positive, 2 negative.
Who's the woman, the Indian American woman?
Mindy Kaling.
Mindy. Yeah. She's a dumpster fire of a human being, isn't she? Like,
isn't she? Well, this was her self-insert character because they made Velma Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of self-inserting on the show.
Bloody woeful. So Davy Cummings, who is an artist on the Hollywood special for Velma, was the Halloween special basically for Velma, claims that the show will not receive a third season. Good. In a post on Instagram, the artist wrote, "Backgrounds I painted for Velma Halloween special. So fun working with this crew. There will not be a season 3, but I hope I get to work with these amazing, talented people again one day." And then he obviously encouraged people to go and watch it. Go watch Velma Halloween special on Max. How's that doing? Oh. Fewer than 50 people bothered to review it.
Wow.
It's difficult to fail that hard, isn't it? Right? When you're given some sort of mainstream platform, it's difficult to be that hated, I think.
I mean, you got to try, I think. There's an effort here. There's a you're I guess the effort and the sort of energy is put in pure spite towards the audience at this stage. Like it must be. You are desperately trying.
I wonder if anybody that was working on this project sat there and said to themselves, "Man, this is shit. Like everything we are doing, this is absolute trash." Or if all of them just got their head in the sand, like, you know, like parrots, like, "Oh, this is great. Oh, this is great." Yeah, I mean, like, I wonder if that actually registers to them. Like, you know, it makes you wonder.
No, it does. It does. Like, you know, throughout history, people will do things and they expect the crowd, the mob, the general consensus, public opinion to be with them. And then it's just not. Thing that springs to mind is the assassins of Caesar. They thought they'd be hailed through the streets and it's just silence. Right? Because they'd convinced themselves in their own little bubble that what they were doing was morally right and will be loved. And so I do wonder, it's a good question, Nick, whether they were in their own little, you know, California, Hollywood bubble, whatever it was. And they honestly thought it would go down well. Or, as you say, whether they know deep down in their hearts it's crap. And they've just got to... I don't know. I really don't know.
I think someone like Mindy Kaling is she's bought into it hook, line, and sinker, right? Like that's a person that's an ideologue. Ideologues, they have conviction, so they believe everything that they're saying and doing is just and good. And Mindy's been put on this pedestal for quite a while.
Yeah.
God knows why. So she must think she's funny as well. So like pair up all of that, and you've just got you got Velma, haven't you? Really, like that's the end result. Someone being told that they're funny when they're utterly not. They're just woeful.
Can anybody point to a success that she's had?
No.
I don't know,
actually.
Was the Mindy Project a success?
I don't know. Was it?
Please, no, I wouldn't have thought so. I saw a bit of that as well. Atrocious.
What is wrong with you, Bo?
Atrocious. Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, just it was probably someone else reviewing it, like Drinker or something. I don't know.
It was on Netflix. So
Jeez.
I haven't gotten it. I don't know how I saw it, but again, I saw.
And it was wildly out of the box. Imagining her as a doctor, an Indian doctor, wild. And I mean, I guess that was airing on Fox in 2012. So Fox thought she was interesting for a period of time. So outside of that, I don't know how many seasons it got. I really don't know much about it, to be fair. I never had any. It's six seasons, so it must have been somewhat interesting to somebody.
You get hype trains, don't you? Like I'm thinking of in sport. Sometimes there's just a hype around a player or something, and it can last for quite a while. It can last for years, and everyone can see they're not that good, but the hype train just continues. There's this one story, I can't remember the guy's name. He was so hyped as this new African wunderkind at football, or soccer, as our American cousins would say. And he came over from Africa, and he played for, I think, Southampton, and they put him on the pitch. No one had ever seen him play. The hype train was that big, and he was terrible at football. They subbed him off 10 minutes later. He basically couldn't play football. But that's the power of a hype train, right? I imagine, I know, it's an incredible story. He played in the Premiership for 10 minutes. No one gets subbed off. No one comes on as a sub and gets subbed off. That just doesn't happen. Anyway, they did it to this kid.
I mean, you
get it in Hollywood as well, right? There's just a hype train. Sorry, Culture.
No, I was just going to add to that. Well, yeah, you would never do that because you just wasted an opportunity to do a player exchange, and you only get so many of those per game. So, that's wild. You never want to do that. That's crazy stuff.
I guess you get it. Well, you definitely get it in the entertainment biz as well, don't you? Look, the Orlando Bloom can act, for example, right? It's just everyone can see that's not the case.
Wait a minute. Somebody said Orlando Bloom could act?
Well, I mean, he got quite a lot of roles, almost got leading roles in films, didn't he?
Yeah, but couldn't that just be argued that came down to Lord of the Rings and maybe one other thing he did in Pirates? That was it, right?
Yeah. Oh, he's in one of those Ridley Scott films, the one about the one about the Crusades. Remember that?
No.
Right. It's a big Ridley Scott production. And
yeah,
you know what I mean? I can't remember the name of it. I've tried to white it out from my memory. But not just Orlando Bloom. There's a number of people.
Kingdom of Heaven.
That's it, Kingdom of Heaven, yeah. He's going to carry that whole movie. Ooh.
How'd that work out?
Terribly. Yeah, it's a joke. But there's lots of other actors, aren't there? There's quite a few actors that are just... No one really likes them. They're not really any good at acting. They keep getting cast in stuff.
Oh, there's this vaguely gay South American actor that is cast in everything now. I think his last name is Pascal.
Yeah, he was in Game of Thrones, wasn't he? Yeah. Him, for example.
Yeah. He was in Star Wars something that people liked.
Pedro Pascal. Yeah.
He was in Narcos.
You're gonna get the wrath of Paulie.
Gonna be in
the chat right now. We're gonna get the wrath of Paulie. I know it.
Why?
Waiting for him to go ballistic.
Why?
Are they a big Pedro Pascal fan or something?
Well, I don't know. Is he vaguely gay, Paulie, or is he like full blown gay?
Full blown.
Yeah.
He's gone full blown.
Just
There you go,
curious.
Latino fan. He's off on one now. Cece's vaguely gay. Well, as you can see, look, over on IMDb, people hated this big old pile of garbage. 68,000 people reviewed it a 1 star. I think, wasn't this at a time like the worst rated animated show of all time? I'm pretty certain it was.
Well, it was the most disrespectful.
I would use the word obnoxious, right? I mean,
well, but I mean, they literally destroyed characterizations. Characters outright.
Norbert, no Shaggy, just Norbert.
Yeah, and absolutely offending humans. So it was bad.
Yeah, not good.
Oh, Dark Hierophant's on fire in the chat. Holy cow.
Dear, oh dear. But anyway, there is a God. All right, there is a God. Amazingly, it has been cancelled, which is good. I'm not going to be like, this is a sign of good things. Bad stuff's being cancelled and blah blah blah. I'm not going to say that. I think that the second season was not greenlit per se. Obviously, it was because it came out, but I think that the second season, because animation work takes a while. There's a pipeline for animation.
There's probably already in the works.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it was already in the works, and they were like, "Well, we've paid for most of it. We might as well just push it out anyway." And it's probably similar to the Halloween special, maybe. I don't know. Halloween special is a bit more difficult to justify, to be honest, but it's cancelled. Good. Mindy Kaling should not get any more work. She's woeful. Get off my TV.
Yeah, these at some point in time, these studios and stuff are going to figure out that this woke DEI crap is just not going to work. Toyota just came out this week. They're pulling away from all that. Ford, Tractor Supply, Harley Davidson, they're pulling back all the DEI crap and woke crap.
Why did they have it to begin with? They sell cars, they sell vehicles. What are you doing?
Exactly.
Just stay in your box. Just make a good car. Sell me a fucking car. What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Pull out. They never should have gone in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was funny how quite manly products like Gillette talking about toxic masculinity or something. Are you mad? Like Budweiser have a transvestite person. It's like really.
That was the biggest one. They lost billions. Billions.
Oh, and it's worse because now they're being downranked again, and their shelf space is being further reduced. I mean, not only that. I mean, people are like, "Well, they replaced Bud Light with a different brand. They still have a number one beer." I'm like, they've lost sales. The sales volume overall has not recovered across the board, and you have 2 generations now that are reducing their alcohol intake overall. You alienated a whole group of customers you needed to retain, you idiots.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
A shaving product, the best a man can get, like specifically their phrase, and they're like toxic men.
Yeah.
Of all things you could possibly do.
We only want men who support strong women to buy our products.
Yeah, and listen to disco.
Yeah.
It's for the best. It's for the best of civilization that Velma is cancelled, right? I mean,
yeah.
I agree. I do agree. We got a super chat sort of related to this, so we'll cover it on this particular topic from Matt again. Thank you so much, buddy. Although I will say, dude, please do send it via Streamlabs because you've now sent in £20 and YouTube has taken £6. That's how much their cut is of that, buddy.
And charge.
But Matt says, when societies favor performing sacrifice for the gods rather than feeding the needs of the people, Aztecs, Mayans, they often fail. Hollywood's relationship to the god of DEI mirrors this nicely. That's a great analogy.
Yeah, it really is.
That's a good analogy. I like that.
I might have to steal that, Matt.
That's good. That is very, very good. I do like that a lot. Any history related comments about the downfalls of societies based on where they begin to go and things like that. I'm pretty certain Rome did a similar thing where they started to focus on certain elements in their society, just decayed and eroded away. Isn't that right, Bo?
Yeah, I could talk about exactly that theme for, without exaggerating or trying to toot my own horn too much, for hours and hours and hours. I could talk about that. It's a thing that has happened again and again and again. The rise and fall of civilizations. Probably very quickly to say, because I don't want to bore people too much. The classic example is the Byzantine Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire, that became corrupted in the end, or perhaps the Ptolemaic Empire in Egypt after Alexander, where they become transsexual, and that homosexuality is actively encouraged, and that degeneracy of every type, that weirdness and freakishness becomes commonplace. And quite quickly, you don't have a very strong army, and then you're overtaken by a stronger civilization, and that's the end of you. That has happened again and again and again and again in history. Luckily, the US Navy is still all dominant. So it's funny. I don't see America actually imploding anytime soon, because their army, their military prowess is still massive. If you look at the US Navy, they've got like 20 aircraft carriers, including helicopter carriers. Like no one's got that. Like China's got 2. Like Britain's got 2.
Yeah,
so
nobody's even close.
Yeah, it's not even close. So we'll see. I think we can come back. I think the West can come back from the brink. Right? It's people like us that are, or like Drinker or Mauler or whatever. You know, we're really the avant-garde, and we're largely on the same page over all of this stuff. It's a small clique of weirdos at the top of companies like Disney or whatever who are pushing this. The vast majority of people don't want it. Are not interested.
Well, and wouldn't you say that they're forcing their own obsolescence because they have such a minority opinion that they're trying to force on the rest of the world?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You can only push it so hard. People aren't buying.
Yeah, and you know, you're not going to get the kind of pushback that you want if you're investing in DEI. I mean, you know,
it's funny how society started going downhill over here when we started getting rid of mental institutions and insane asylums. Now they're just all the inmates are running the asylum at this point, and everybody's trying to normalize it.
True.
Yeah. Normalizing certain things is definitely a sign of a downfall of a society. So let's stop that.
We got some other super chats about this, actually. I sort of skipped over them by accident. A blood drinking barn for $4.99 says remake are the mechanically separated chicken of entertainment. Yep.
All right.
Although some of that stuff can be quite tasty. Chicken nuggets always not too bad. Not gonna lie.
I just want to say that not too bad. Do you realize how many times that meat's been processed, bro?
Yeah, it's tasty though. Look, I'm aware. This is an analogy I use for a while. Like I've used, quite a while, right? I can recognize shit, right? Like I know when something is shit. McDonald's is shit, but it is tasty. All right. That is an analogy for a bad film that I still enjoy sometimes. All right. I know it's shit. I can recognize all facets of how it's, technically dog shit, but sometimes I still enjoy. All right. That happens. All right.
I'm guilty of getting a double quarter pounder.
All right.
Or a Royale with cheese every once in a while.
Like Spam. Do Americans have Spam? Is that a
yeah, we do.
All right, we invented Spam.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Like Spam or Savoy. We have things at Savoy. It's the worst of the worst processed stuff, but it actually tastes all right. Actually.
What was the thing you were trying to get me to eat? Some like kind of pasty bullshit. What the fudge? You guys put it on bread and shit. I was like, what?
What about Marmite?
That's what it. Oh God, no, thank you.
Yeast paste.
Please don't.
It's an acquired taste.
Not to get off topic too much, but have you guys heard of an app called Yuka? Yuka?
No.
It's an app you can get on your phone, but it's an app you scan food and like personal care products, and then it provides information of all the ingredients you should avoid and the health impact it has on your body.
My name is Yuka.
Yeah.
I live
in a very cool app.
Another super chat here says from Chaos is Fun says, evening all. I don't know what's funnier, pissing away money on 2 seasons of this, or Bo mistaking Joy Reid for a bloke the other day.
What?
Yeah, I did on the podcast of the Lotus Eaters. I was talking about Trump and Elon, and talking about a segment by Joy Reid, and I've very deliberately was saying, "What's this dude saying? I don't know what I don't know what this dude's problem is with Elon." And then when my co-hosts were like, "It's a woman, that's Joy Reid," I pretended to be surprised. Oh, really? It looks like a dude. Oh, sorry.
Dude looks like a lady.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, dear, oh dear.
Yeah, she is quite masculine.
Dear, oh dear. Right. Okay. We will move on from this now.